Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing my overview for the month of January and all of my spreads. I'm going to explain which spreads I liked, which ones worked for me, and kind of highlight my favorite ones. So as you can see, I do have two journals out right here. This is my journal that I'm using right now in the month of February since it is the first week of February, and then this was the journal I used throughout the month of January. I wanted to show both journals because I currently have my yearly spreads inside of this one, and then my January leftover monthly spreads are in here. So we're going to start off by doing an overview of my yearly spreads inside of this journal. I'll definitely explain more about this journal and go into depth about the coloring and the stickers for next month's overview, but since I'm not using this journal for the month of January, I'm just going to kind of skip over all of that. As you guys know, I have a 2023 calendar to start everything off. I'm going to skip over any pages that I don't find useful to go over. So here is the first page, which is a year in color, and this one I use to rate my day, whether I had a good day, great day, bad day. You guys can see the different options. First off the bat, I could see I actually didn't have a lot of okay days. Now, you might see a lot of yellow, so you're wondering, like, I think you had a lot of okay days. But honestly, for me in general, I feel like I've had a lot more good days than okay, and that's really good for me to see. And I also had 4 great days, which is, like, amazing to see. I usually have, like, 1 out of the month, because I really don't rate it a great day unless it really was, like, a great day. Same thing here with my rate my day. I had even more 5 out of 5 days than I did great days, which is amazing. I do not see any 1s, and I only see 4 2s, and the rest are 3s and 4s, so I'm really happy about that. I definitely overall had like a great month. Next, for my year of health, we can see the beginning of the month was really good. I had only 1 tired day, I had a couple in pain days, 1 energetic day, and then the end of the month went downhill. I was sick. It was a mild sickness, but it was a very long mild sickness. I absolutely love using this page just to track that specifically, like when I'm sick and for how long I'm sick. The next tracker I think a lot of people see kind of as useless because I'm not that sick often. I don't have symptoms like this often, but when I do, I'm so happy to track them. So I find this one really useful from like a yearly standpoint and like an overview of looking at it. You can really see like which symptoms you had. So you guys can see here I can track like I had a sore throat for 4 days, then it turned into congestion. I had 1 day of a cough, back to congestion, and then I was feeling well again. So I really am loving this addition to my journal this year because I just began using this tracker. This next one is kind of all over the place. I had a different productivity every single day. I think that's understandable because I feel like every day you wake up and every day is a new day. So I really kind of expressed that through my productivity tracker. You can see every day for me was a new day. I actually had, from looking at this as an overview, about 3 100% productivity days, but I had a lot of 80%, so I'm happy about that. No 0% and only a couple 20% days. So it's pretty good, and I like seeing this one to kind of see like how productive I was every day. The next one is my energy tracker. This one is on a scale of low, medium, or high, and don't mind this on my page. It's because these are glitter gel pens, and sometimes I turn the page before letting it dry, and so it goes onto here. So please don't mind that. But you can see I actually had, I didn't have a lot of high energy days, but I didn't have none, so that's good. Most of them were medium energy days, which is normal for me because I feel like I struggle with my energy just in general. You guys can see even in the beginning of February right now, the energy is not happening. So for my sleep, honestly, I'm really happy about this. There was only 1 day that it was between 5 to 6 hours, and other than that, I got at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep every single night. There were a pretty good amount of 9+ hour nights. Some nights I just sleep and like don't get up. So that's, those nights there. But overall, I love looking at my sleep from a yearly standpoint instead of monthly alone. Next is my nap tracker. I think it's so funny because a nap tracker can only really be useful for like people who take naps, and I am one of those people. I love naps. You can see from this, I have more days where I napped than not. I can't help it. I genuinely enjoy napping. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just so nice to take a nap. Like, it's different than sleeping at night, in my opinion. So the next page is my anxiety tracker, and I'm so happy to see that I had no severe anxiety days, and I only had 2 high anxiety days. For me, this is amazing because I do struggle with severe anxiety, and so the fact that I didn't have any severe days and I only had 2 high days is amazing for me. Also, there are a lot of low days for me. Like, there were a lot of days where my anxiety was okay, and that's like a huge improvement for me, and I'm really happy about that. Next is my stress tracker, which for me, looking at this overall, was kind of all over the place. I only had 4 low days out of the entire month, or actually 5, sorry, I miscounted. I only had 5 low days out of the entire month, which definitely isn't, like, amazing, but it also isn't terrible, because at least I did have those 5 low days. Other than that, there's a pretty good amount of mild and moderate. Only 3 severe and 2 high, so that's actually not bad. So we can see here from my headache tracker, I actually had pretty bad headaches this month. I am not one to get headaches pretty often, but now that I've been tracking them, I have headaches a lot more often than I thought I did. So it's definitely interesting for me to see, but I had no headaches probably about, I'm not counting, but it looks like about half the days. And then I actually had some pretty bad headaches around this point in the month. I don't know what was going on there, my severe headaches. But other than that, I mean, they're not too bad, but I still do enjoy keeping track of this. Next, we have a pain tracker. You guys can see just off of the beginning of February, I'm having no pain so far this month, but last month, woo, we had some bad pain. I had bad back pain. I was having body pain from being sick. It was just not the best month for me in terms of pain. Next, we have my work tracker, which I'm using this one to track how many hours I work throughout the day. This was definitely a reflection for me to see how much I work. My older sister is constantly telling me that I work way too much and that I need to kind of take it down a notch with my work. And I always said, like, I feel like I'm not working enough hours. And then once I started keeping track of this, I was like, wow, like, I really was working a lot then. And then now I've been noticing I take off kind of more on the weekends, or not off, because I only had one day out of the whole month where I didn't work at all. That's because I did a family day with, like, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents. But other than that, the other days I would work, like, around 4 hours, like 2 to 4 hours for my lazy weekend days. But I definitely like tracking this to see how many hours I'm working. So now we're looking at my screen time tracker, and this is a new one that I added. You guys might have noticed by this point that I did switch up a couple of my trackers. This is one of them. I added in more hours, and I also changed the colors because the other colors were a little too similar for me. So this worked out a little bit better than the other colors I had. But I'm really enjoying tracking my screen time. It's definitely making me a lot more conscious and making me want to get off my phone because as you can see here, my screen time is way too high and I really need to get a hold of that. Next, we have my shopping tracker, which was definitely interesting for me to see. I am consciously trying not to buy fast food as much as I did last month. You can see that the box that I colored in the most is literally the one for fast food. Like, I'm pretty embarrassed by that, but honestly, it was like really bad last month and I'm really trying this month to get a better, handle on that, I guess. Next one is the weather. I have nothing to say for this except for how cloudy it was. This entire month was so cloudy and it's just so depressing. Like, I can't wait to see some more sunshine, and that's why I love using this tracker. I also like keeping track of the snow days because we only had 2 snow days in the whole month of January. Like, I don't love snow because I don't love cleaning off my car and, like, shoveling the driveway, but I love snow. Like, I like when it snows. So I definitely want to see some more snow on this tracker. Then the next one we have here is the temperature log, and you can see here it was pretty much in the 30s to 50s for the entire month. Definitely on the colder side, but it wasn't too cold of a winter so far here in New York. Next tracker I have is my step tracker, and my steps are kind of all over the place. You might notice this one looks a little bit different. It's because I use my metallic marker pens and they go right over the black, so I try to keep it in, but it's a little hard for me. So you can see here there was only actually about 4 days that I had under 4,000 steps. Every other day was over 4,000, so that's good. And then I also had a couple of days that were over like 6,000. I did not have any days that were over 8,000 steps, which is kind of embarrassing. But I feel like in the summer I'm a lot more active, so we'll definitely see around the summer if my steps go up. Okay, so this page is for February, and actually moving forward, I think pretty much the rest of them are. So we're going to go ahead and close up this journal and grab my journal that I did use for the month of January. Now we're going to go ahead and get back into this journal, which is the navy blue color with the holographic writing, and I added my winter sticker sheets on top of it. Don't mind the sticker in here, I have some Valentine's stickers in there. Okay, so first we're going to start off with my single spreads here, which I have my activity rings tracker. For my move goal, I'm pretty happy with it. As you can see here, just to start off, these are the days that I did not wear my watch. So on the 12th and the 29th, I did not wear my watch. Usually it's because I'll forget to plug it in before I go to bed that night before, and so I don't end up wearing it the next day. But on the days that I did wear my watch, I did really good with my move and stand goal. I only missed 1 day of those, which usually is because, like, I don't know, I guess it's just lazy days for me. My exercise goal definitely needs some improvement, though. Don't know what was going on here. I mean, this is a good streak, even though that was the beginning of the month, that was the end. But yeah, definitely need some improvements here. Like 2 days, no exercise, 3 days, no exercise. Hopefully for the next month, I will improve on that. Next, we have my water tracker, and you guys, I'm so happy about this tracker. So, as you know, I've been using my water bottle from my shop that I added, and it's been helping me so much drink water. Like, I did not have a single day this entire month that I went under 32 ounces, which is amazing for me because I've never, ever had that happen. So, I'm really, really proud of that and happy that I was able to drink so much water throughout the month. And this may not be a lot of water to you, but to me, this is a lot. Next, we have my yearly water tracker, and as you can see here, I started using it in the month of January, but I did not continue it for February. I mainly wanted this tracker because I wanted to see the days that I did drink under 32 ounces, but now that I've been drinking a lot more water, I've noticed that I'm not going under 32, and there's no reason for me to continue using it in a yearly format. So I am continuing to use the monthly format like this one, but I no longer am going to be using the yearly one. I'm taking a break from it for the month. If I do like it, I'll go back to it for March, but otherwise I'm just going to be keeping the monthly one only. Next, we have my monthly meal tracker, and I'm really happy about this one. I had dinner every day except for one day. I had drinks and snacks every day, and lunch and breakfast is pretty good. I think I started off the month having a lot more breakfast than towards the end of the month, but I also was sick at the end of the month, and that was contributing to it because I was spending more time sleeping in and all of that, so I'm pretty happy with this overall. Next is a new one, and honestly, I didn't really enjoy using this one that much. So I'm not really going to go over it that much, but you can see here, I just used it to track different cleaning tasks, and honestly, it wasn't motivating me, and it was just too much to fill out, which is why I did not actually add it into my February spread. So you guys can see the overview of it here, but this is probably going to be the last time you see me using this tracker because it just wasn't really working for me. Next, I have my self-care habit tracker, which is one of my favorites. You can see here I did amazing with all of these. Obviously, I could floss a little bit more, and I could spend more time off my phone or, like, doing 1 hour of no phone for the day. But otherwise, like, overall with this page, I'm really proud of it. This is probably one of my best habit tracker pages that I am able to complete every single day. Next is my daily shower tracker. I love tracking this one. There were only 2 days where I didn't shower. I love to track this because I really enjoy seeing how often I wash my hair. So you guys can see I wash my hair on the 1st and the 3rd, the 13th, 22nd, and 30th. So I pretty much wash my hair every week to 2 weeks, depending on how greasy it gets. I do have curly hair, and my hair is pretty dry just in general, so I don't have to wash it that often, thankfully. And then I had a full routine shower 4 times out of the month, which for me is just like a full routine, shave my legs, like, you know, the whole nine. I definitely take more full body routine showers over the summer, but now that it's the winter, I'm just not really caring too much about that. So there's the overview of my shower tracker. Next is my dream tracker. I love the way this came out, but I do wish there was more like colors in it. Obviously, I can't control that. I did switch up the colors for the month of February just to kind of switch that up a little bit, but we'll see how that comes out. You can see here, I can't remember my dreams a lot of the days. I don't know what happens. And then I also had a couple bad dreams and some weird dreams as well, which is really interesting for me to see. And then I had like 3 random dreams, 1 reoccurring, and I never really have nightmares, which is pretty good. Okay, the next page I'm super excited about. It's my tomorrow's main goal page. I love this page. I'm going to move this so you guys can see how many of these I completed. Honestly, I didn't complete a lot of them. Like, that's definitely a goal for me this month to complete a lot more of these. But you can see here, my tomorrow's main goal, I just write down like one thing I really want to get done the next day and then color in if I completed it or not. Next, we have the low light of the day page, and honestly, I took this one out for February because I just don't enjoy it. Like, I feel like it's a really negative page, and I think it's great for self-reflection, but it just doesn't work for me. Like, at the end of my day, I don't want to harp on what was the worst part of my day. There are certain people I've talked to who actually genuinely enjoy this page. They like getting it out, and I think it's really good to journal and get your feelings out. But I do journal every night anyways, and so I don't really need this page. It was becoming more of like a job than something I enjoyed, so I took this page out, as well as the next one, which was the anxious thoughts of the day page. I honestly just had a lot of days where like my anxiety was pretty good and I didn't have anything to write down. I already know that these are my anxious thoughts. Like, this is what happens to me. You know, my anxiety is pretty irrational, but I just didn't enjoy writing this one down, so I stopped using it for the month of February. So those are all of my single pages in the front of my journal. Now we're going to go ahead and actually get into my January monthly themed pages. You can see here I used the winter sticker sheet to decorate my tab divider, which I love so much. I think it's super cute. Of course, that's why I added them. Then we're going to go ahead and get into January. You guys already know that I have a ski lodge, ski lift type of theme going on for January. Then we have here my mood tracker, which is probably one of my most colorful mood trackers I've ever seen. So I'm really happy because I automatically, off the bat, see a lot of happy days, a good amount of normal, just a couple tired, a pretty high amount of sad, actually. Not super high, but not super good. And then a really low amount of anxious, which I'm happy about, and low amount of stress as well. So this tracker is definitely like one of my most colorful mood trackers I've ever had. I've had a lot of moods throughout the month of January. Now we're moving on to my habit tracker. I did really, really good with these this month. I think the one that I struggled with the most was waking up by 10 a.m. or having 3 meals for the day. But other than that, I did really good with my water and my bullet journaling. Journaling definitely could have used some improvement. That 1 week, apparently, I was struggling. Journaling by 11 p.m. kind of goes along with that. Showering by 11 p.m. I could definitely work on, but it's not too bad. Going to the post office, I like to track just for fun, but I didn't really find anything out of that, so that's why I'm not tracking it anymore for February. Already discussed these two. I definitely have to wake up a little bit earlier. And then working, as you guys know, like, I'm always working. I love my business. Next, we have the highlight of the day page, and I like to usually take a step back and read some of these and see what my favorite part of my month was. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys some of my favorite ones. So obviously a lot of these are super fun to me, like getting Cocoa a Pup Cup, getting my nails and toes done, all of those. But I think a couple that stand out to me is dropping new products, of course. That is always so exciting. Watching my little sister go to her first ever tumbling class was a lot of fun. I also enjoyed, of course, working on business projects, like always, completing my open orders, dropping my Valentine's themed stickers, and having like my Valentine's live was so much fun. Setting up my spreads on live, like those are just all some of the highlights from January, but I had a really good month. In the month of January, I found sleep, okay? This was really when I was sick, so I understand why I was sleeping in a lot. Other than that, even here, like, I was sleeping until 10:30, 11. Like, I really slept pretty good here. But I have to say, I really need to improve going to bed earlier. I think I've been doing okay with that this month. Like, I'm not going to bed at 3 anymore. I'm going to bed at, like, 2:30. But that's definitely still something I really, really need to work on. This is my last page. It is my expenses page, and I'm actually going to go in right now and add in the total, so I will be back to share with you guys what my total was. Okay, guys, I am back, and I'm embarrassed by this number, but I spent a total of $975 pretty much on wants. I feel like a majority of this is wants. I mean, I did spend $130 at the groomers. That's a really big chunk, which I needed for Coco. I spent $100 on myself for nails and toes. I spent $170 for my yearly subscription for Ipsy, and a lot of this was just extra fast food. Like, it really was a lot. So I'm definitely going to be spending a lot less as the year goes on because it's supposed to be a new year. I'm supposed to be spending less, but for some odd reason, I spent a lot. So far in the month of February, even though we're only 5 days in right now as I'm filming this, I'm actually doing really good with my spending, so I'm happy about that, but I definitely need to see this number go down. I'm so happy I added in a total spot so I can compare it each month and hopefully see that I'm spending too much and that I need to spend less. I think my biggest weakness, honestly, was all of the fast food, so I'm going to be cutting down on that this month. Okay, guys, I hope that you enjoyed my January recap. If you enjoy videos like this on my YouTube instead of TikTok, please let me know. I decided to do it on here because I thought that it would be a lot easier than doing like 10 parts on my TikTok. So if you guys want to see February on YouTube as well, please let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Give it a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys!